The skis above Metropolis were a jagged scar of purple ozone and burning debris. The Nostromo-class derelict, a ship fused with both organic obsidian and cold, industrial steel, had crashed into the city center. From the wreckage emerged two apex horrors: the Xenomorph, a sleek, biomechanical nightmare of chitin and acid, and the Predator, a hulking warrior clad in cloaking tech and ritualistic armor. They were not merely fighting each other. They were hunting everything that moved. On the rooftops, Felix the Cat sat on a brick chimney, his tail twitching. He pulled his magic bag from thin air. He wasn't afraid. He'd seen weirder things in a Saturday morning cartoon. He reached into the bag and pulled out a mallet the size of a minivan, his grin wide and mischievous. "Looks like a couple of guests crashed the party," Felix chirped, his voice a rhythmic, ink-blot hum. Suddenly, a plasma bolt hissed through the air, vaporizing the chimney beside him. The Predator shimmered into view, mandibles clicking, thermal vision locking onto the cat. "I wouldn't do that, pal," Felix said, tucking his tail into his mouth and popping it out as a propeller. He took flight just as a jet of black, acidic blood sprayed across the roof. The Xenomorph had lunged from the shadows, its tail whipping out to impale the Predator. The Predator roared, activating its wrist blade. Steel met carapace with a screech that shattered windows for blocks. Just then, a pipe-thin arm wrapped around the Predator's neck. Pop, pop, pop. Popeye the sailor man stood there, his face contorted in a squinty-eyed grimace. He had clearly been in the middle of a lunch break when the monsters arrived. He didn't have his spinach, and the Predator's high-tech armor was proving resistant to his haymakers. The beast backhanded the sailor, sending him flying through a brick wall. "Ugh-gug-gug-gug," Popeye grunted, pulling a crumpled, empty can from his pocket. "I'm in a heap o' trouble now." From the sky, a streak of blue light descended like a falling star. Astro Boy landed between the three combatants, his internal thrusters glowing with Cherenkov radiation. He scanned the scene with his high-frequency optics. "Intruders detected," the android chirped, his voice calm and melodic. "Level of threat catastrophic, I must neutralize." The Predator fired a shoulder cannon. Astro Boy's finger lasers intercepted the plasma midair. The Xenomorph shrieked, skittering up the side of the building like a spider, preparing to drop onto the boy's head. "Popeye," Astro Boy shouted, diverting power to his jet boots to hover. "The spinach, you need the fuel." Felix the Cat, hovering nearby, saw his chance. He reached into his magic bag and pulled out a jagged, emerald-green leaf the size of a dinner plate. He tossed it through the air. Popeye caught it, swallowed it whole, and his forearms instantly tripled in size, his anchor tattoo bulging against his skin. "Well, blow me down," Popeye growled. The brawl turned into a symphony of chaos. The Xenomorph darted for Astro Boy, but Popeye intercepted it, spinning his arms like a turbine. He delivered an uppercut that sent the alien into orbit, its acid blood sizzling as it hit the pavement. The Predator, realizing it was outmatched, engaged its cloaking device to flee, but Felix wasn't having it. The cat pulled a giant exit sign out of his bag and slapped it onto the air where the Predator stood. The space rippled, the Predator stumbled, and the sign acted as a doorway, locking the hunter in a pocket dimension of Felix's own design. The city went silent. Astro Boy powered down, his eyes dimming to a soft glow. Popeye dusted off his sailor cap, his muscles slowly returning to normal. Felix the Cat sat back on a ledge, re-rolling his tail into his bag. "Well," Felix purred, winking at the camera, "that's all for today, folks." As the sun began to rise over the smoking remains of the derelict ship, the three unlikely heroes stood atop the ruins. One a toon, one a sailor, and one a machine, each guarding the secret that the galaxy had finally met its match, and it didn't wear a mask or bleed acid. It wore a sailor suit, blue skin, or just a really big grin.